come into the room, please come into the room. Be here in this space with your phones on Do Not Disturb. And let's get it in. Let's have a discussion, get our mind right for the not just the week, but the month, okay? For the entire month. So let's start off with that. It's crazy. I two things. So I had the honor of speaking this past weekend, and I think I just said yes because it was my grandma. And so I was like, okay, my mom, my grandma, they asked me to do it. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not gonna overthink it. I'm not a preacher. I'm not any of those things, right? I have been a leader for several years. I'm used to speaking in front of people. Yeah, I've been in events where I've been able to mentor thousands, which is it's just such a blessing. Um, but I didn't think about who would be on the program. I didn't think about any of that stuff, y'all. I just thought about me doing what I do, relaying what I can relay. And they asked me, so that means they want me, right? They asked me, so that means they want me. They want me in my full capacity, not me being somebody else, but they want me. And so I prior to me going, there were five pastors that went. Five pastors, four pastors that went before me. And my son yesterday, he was asking about, we were talking about American Idol and about how, like, people choke. They get up there and they choke because they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. They get up there, they compare themselves to somebody else. They feel like they got to do something special because if I don't do something special, I'm not going to be able, they're not going to see me. When ultimately you just have to be you. And in that moment, I said, no, you have to think about this. If I would have went up there and tried to be a pastor, I wouldn't have been able to effectively execute the way that God called me to execute. I would have been out of my element. I'd have been saying some crazy stuff, doing some crazy stuff. It would have been a wreck. But because I got up there and I was just willing to just be Rachel, it delivered the way that more than better than I could have imagined it to deliver. Right. And so it's the same thing when it comes to American Idol. Like, if you get up there and you do your thing, yeah, you may be nervous, but focus and do you. Like, you love this, you love to sing, you do you, and it will automatically, the results that you'll get better results than you could have asked for. And so I'm curious today as to what are you not doing to be you in this space, which is causing you to not thrive the way that you're supposed to be thriving? That's my question today. Like, how are you not? Is your lack of execution because you're not doing what you're made to do? Let's talk about this. Hello, I gotta call on somebody. Michelle, you look like you want to be called on.
Now you gonna pick me out of all people.
You look like
Now
you had a word.
repeat the question.
What are you not doing in terms of being you, thriving to be you in the space? In the space. So in every space that you feel, like, yeah, you may be going live and being you, but even when you come into this room and being among, because let's think about it. Like, I'm not necessarily saying being you when you're not in the room. I'm talking about being you when you come into the room, right? So, for example, on American Idol, like, it's great if they can go out there and sing at church. It's great if they can go out there and sing on the street. But can you sing here at American Idol and be who you are, if that makes sense?
Well, to me, I think I am learning to be me. when I come into the room. Okay. So yeah, it's in some aspects I am growing and becoming. Because I have always not been my truest authentic self. And even online, I find that I have not, because I find that I'm more I just been letting me here lately online. I just been letting God just use me, and when God used me, it's totally different from me when I come to life, because I found that he have a word that he be want me to tell folks, and so I be, and so it just makes me realize that we look at this as a business, but we are ambassadors for Christ, and so we have different um, things that we're supposed to do, and we're supposed to show up different than we know would just for our business, because we are ambassadors for Christ. And so I have been learning that He is calling me for more than just my business, but He's calling me to help somebody else along the way, and so encourage somebody else. So when I come into this space, I know that I got to be my true self, because I may say something that's going to encourage somebody else. And so on my day, going out on my Sabbath, I was getting ready to go out on my Sabbath, and he told me to send voice messages to the people on my team and stuff. And so that's what I did. I came from my heart and I sent voice messages to everybody. And the response that I got from everybody. And so it just lets me know that it's a true ministry inside of me. It's not just the business, but it's the business. But yeah, so
I love it. That is so good. Absolutely. It is the one thing that I have learned, am learning, is that when you decide that you are enough and how God made you is enough, and that God He calls you, but He also qualifies you. Like, it's only God that qualifies you, and if you are called. And I'm saying, if you are called, then you are qualified. There is no, He doesn't call you and He doesn't equip you. Say that. Like, he does not call you and He does not equip you. And so if you are called and you feel the pull to truly be in His space, you are equipped. You just have to be willing to show up as you and get better along the way. And so thank you for sharing that. So essentially what we're talking about, guys, is when you come into this space, how can you effectively be you so that you can thrive instead of trying to be someone else? So let me explain. So when I come into a room, if I'm going to be in a room, I'm getting what I need. I have no desire to be in rooms that cannot fill me. Now, maybe it's just where I am in life, but I don't have the time to waste. Or I don't choose to waste the time. So if I'm coming into a room, I want to connect and get what I need from the space. So, and I also want to be a blessing, right? I want to be a blessing to the space as much as I'm receiving and getting from the space. And so, and I know a lot of you guys, as much as you jump on here, you are receiving a lot. But I'm going to tell you, the freedom comes when you start to give. The growth comes when you start to give. And when you listen to the enemy telling you you have nothing to give, you are stifling yourself and the space. And I don't mean that don't mean fall away, but I'm saying that's a call to step up and actually fill the room. Fill the room. And sometimes you don't have nothing to say. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just say something just to be saying something. But I can guarantee all of you guys have been in this space, in some capacity with the team, and not said what was on your heart. I know that there have been, because there's been times when I've been in higher level spaces where I know I probably should have said something, but it doesn't feel good to walk away when you should have said something. And so walking in that spirit of obedience, even if it doesn't feel like it's gonna come off right, just walking in that spirit of obedience and just saying it, and contributing to the space and it could be just a question, it could be a comment or whatever. So let's talk about acting on that and actually filling the space. So
Well, I'll say something. I know it's been a lot of times where Rachel will say like you have something to say, but then you wait to say it, and then it comes out all funny because you trying to say it in a way that you it's not you, and so and so that has been something that I have been working on. But I will say every time I do say what is on my heart and what needs to be said, it does bless the space. So we were on a meeting on Saturday, and sometimes I say stuff, but most of the time I'm not as like direct as I was on Saturday. And I'm pretty sure because I was direct, it blessed the room. And so I say it all the time in my story if you've heard it. At one point in time, I was trying to take pieces from so many different It Works distributors and put them together and be like the perfect It Works distributor. It was so exhausting and I was not effective. But as soon as I started to be me, I started to thrive. I started to attract the squad that was, supposed to be attracted to me because I was saying the things that needed to be said. I was being myself. I was being authentic. And my business started to be fun. Like my customers started to like or my following just started to like really connect to me. Really, just want to buy into what I was doing because I started to show up as me. They started to relate to me. They started to connect to me. So if I can encourage anyone on here, it's be you. It's be who you are. Don't try to be perfect. People do not cannot connect with perfect. And when you are trying to be somebody else, you're doing a disservice and you're actually being selfish and thinking about yourself. And when you're in that space, you can't give what you're supposed to give to everyone else because you're thinking about you. And so let it go, be you, and God will refine you and make you a better you.
Kate said I struggle with building relationships, which is odd because I'm a yellow and I do care about people, but I am a straight to the point person. So I I think that all of you just said, well, I guess we have to ask the question, why do you feel like you struggle with building relationships? Because my thing is, when you fall in love with yourself, it does not matter if they don't like it. And I'm saying that in such because there is two sides to this, okay? It's the Christian side and then it's the ratchet side, okay? We're not talking about the enemy side at all. I'm not talking about that. Like that is I will never be referencing that side. I am referencing a whole person who has fallen in love or is falling in love with who Christ made them to be. That's what I'm talking about. And when you are in that space, you are okay. Because I would say, I would submit to some of you guys that you're not even the real person you really are in front of your kids. I would submit that to some of you guys. Like, you're not the real you. Like, some of you guys are, but some of y'all ain't. Like, does your kid know that you're goofy? Does your kid know that you like to sing? Does your kid know that you like to dance? Like, do you do that? I do. In real life, like, the who you guys get on here, I don't have the strength to be one person here and one person here. I don't have it. I don't it. So the same goofy person that you guys get is the same goofy person that my kids and my family get. If I want to just bust out singing, I'm gonna bust out singing in my house. They get it probably 10 times worse than y'all get it. Like, kid you not. Like, if I want to dance, I'm grabbing whatever kid wants to dance with me. And sometimes they don't want to dance with me. They just look at me like I'm crazy. I don't care. Thank God for 4 kids, because at least one of them always wants to dance with me. One of them will entertain me at all times. Or Brian. I mean, Brian may be in the mood because he goofy as that thing. Y'all don't even know. He's super. Well, some of y'all do know, but he's super goofy. And so, like, I don't have it in me to be anything other than myself. And what I love about this business is that I get to be myself. And so if you're struggling with building relationships, it may be that you are not authentically being you. Because if someone doesn't accept who I am and they think I'm super weird, and they don't think I'm super weird in like an intriguing way, they're on that other side and they're kind of mean. You're not my people, period. Like, we're not meant to be around each other. There's 7 billion people, probably 8 now, billion people on the planet. Who cares? Who cares? But I'll tell you that if you're not doing the work to fall in love with yourself every single day. And when I say every day, I mean every day. And so your relationship with Christ will help you fall in love with yourself. I guarantee you it. Your relationship with Christ will help you fall in love with who God made you to be. It will. And as you focus on that, you'll be able to walk forward in the way that you need to be to feel good about what it is that you are doing day in and day out.
And I think a
Nikita.
lot of that comes from people telling themselves that in their mind. And so when you quit telling yourself in your mind that you ain't fun and you ain't, I tell, I'm goofy and I'm fun, and that person's been inside of me, and I had her covered up, but doing your spiritual and your personal development every day will bring out everything that you need, because you got to change your mind. It's a mindset thing. And I have to tell my kids it's a mindset thing. Uh, but it's a mindset thing, and we be telling ourselves these lies. We just need to quit telling ourselves a lie and quit saying that we ain't this and we ain't that. Because anytime you say that, you speaking it into existence. So then you become what you speak. So speak life. Speak life.
That's true. I think that's why it's so important to get together because, especially the last leadership retreat that we had, all my leadership retreats, but the last one that we just had, I realized that people were not being who they are. And when you are not walking in your authenticity, you can only go so far. Or nah, period. You can only go so far. Because even if you go high, you're gonna go back down. Why? Because you're not being who you are. And so when you're exhausted from being something that you're not, you're gonna go back to who you are, and then it's all gonna fall apart. So you might as well build it on a firm foundation of who you authentically are. Um, yeah. Kate said on the way to work today on drive, I asked God, do I have what it takes to make it? Well, I can give you some scripture to tell you yes to that. That ain't even, I mean, we can, you know what? I will. I'm gonna send you some scriptures when we get off of here, because that's the answer is in his word. Come on, read one chapter of the Bible a day. You definitely have what it takes to make it. That I don't know that that's the question. If you're asking about it works, that ain't the question. The question is, am I supposed to be here? That may be a better question. Not do I have what it takes to make it, because that's a given. So maybe that's not the question that you want to ask. And maybe we could talk about that, or you can respond in the comments. I know you're at work. Who else?
Oh, can you repeat the question?
So essentially, we are asking, what does it take for you? I'm asking, what does it take for you to be you in this space?
Okay. So I'm a yellow and I like serving. I like helping people. So when I come in spaces like this on Zoom and I'm going live and stuff, it's not really hands-on for me. So it caused me to like not feel like myself. That's why I'm excited about conference, because I'm not shy, but I when I don't know people, I do go to the yeah. So that's why I'm excited about conference, because I do be wanting to speak up, but because I really don't know you guys, I just be quiet. Um, so that's why I'm excited about conference, so I could be more of myself. So I hope that answered the question, but I just felt the need to talk because I know that's part of the problem. So I've been thinking, like, when I come into spaces like this, because technically this is the first time I ever talked. When I come in spaces like this, how can I serve? And the only way to serve in a space like this is to talk. So I'm trying to get out of it. I'll take the first step.
That's so true. That is true. The only way to serve is to talk. That is very true. Um, Thank you for that, because I think that'll bless a lot of people, because I think a lot of people struggle with the same thing. It's like, um, w- and then my question is, what does it mean to know somebody in this space? Like, what does it mean to know? For you to say you don't know me is baloney. That's baloney.
I know,
But
like, I
but
know you, but it's like 14 other people on here. So
what ask?
when, even though I know you, but it's
Why
not
do you
just
know
about you,
me?
it's
How
a
about that?
whole,
Oh, say, why do you know me?
because I had conversations with you.
And
And what?
because you have it's not just from conversations that you know me, right?
We connect. Yeah, no.
hmm
Well, we connect. Um,
and I talk,
I see you. Yeah, you talk. Yeah,
I
okay.
share,
Mm-hmm.
and because of what I share, you feel like you know me.
Yeah.
So because of my sharing, you feel connected. Yeah
Mm-hmm.
or no?
Yeah, I get your point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, I was trying to make it plain. I was trying to make it plain. So the only way that we get to know each other is if you are willing to, and I'm saying you, I'm saying everyone on here, if you're willing to share. So as you guys are willing to share, and because everybody is going through something, and it's either the room needs you or you need the room, right? So how are you overcoming? We're thinking about how Miss Yania has been consistent with her vendor events, constantly making hundreds of dollars and signing customers back to back to back. How can we learn from Miss Shania, but then on the flip side, talking to someone else who may be signing the distributors and connecting with distributors? And or we talk about Brittany, who helped one of her distributors get two quick start bonuses this past month. How can we connect with that? Because Miss Shania needs that. Brittany needs the other aspect of it. And so how do we learn from one another opposed to try to become one another, if that makes sense? So that's so good. Thank you for sharing that, because that makes it very clear that the only way that you get to know somebody is if they open up their mouths and they're brave enough to talk. So I've been able to learn a little more about Michelle because of book club, and on book club, hearing her talk and share from the insights of the book, I've been able to learn more about you, which I've appreciated. But of course, for me personally as a mentor, that's just the one-to-one conversations and asking questions. And I just have that advantage because I am mentor to a lot of you guys. But if not, when we come into rooms like that, you'll hear me call people out and ask questions because I want to get to know you, if that makes sense. And if y'all not reading Everyone Communicates, If You Connect, y'all need to go pick it up right now and jump in the book club, because this is exactly what we're talking about. Like, connecting. It's important. Miss Angela, can you talk? Let's talk about how you came into the business and rocking it out.
Can you see me?
We can see you and hear you.
Okay. What you asked me? Because
talk
I'm
about
dealing
you
with something
come.
right now. These people
Oh,
have to,
you want to?
I had to call for a tow truck to come and get my car from my daughter's house because they done did something about my tires that I paid a tire warranty for. So that's what I'm outside doing. But I
Okay.
came into the business because um I've been out for work since August of last year. I had back surgery, and while sitting at home, one of Brittany's friends posted the post on her Facebook page where Brittany had some jobs available. So I messaged Brittany, and she invited me to the Zoom. I think it was the same day. But I knew immediately when I woke up the next day that this is for me. Because everything you said about you getting credit cards to pay for your baby to go to school, I done had to get one to pay off another one and another one to pay off another one. And I'm trying to get off these 4 blood pressure pills that I take. So not only would it have been beneficial for the people that I have met, it has been beneficial for me as well.
That's amazing. But talk about, because you only need another 4 and 1 to close your other $500. How have you been
I
able to
know, and I've
press?
been working on it. I've been working on it. I've been
It's
working
exciting.
and working and working.
It's
I
so
told Brittany
exciting.
last night, I said, I'm gonna try to have me somebody else before midnight. But
Period.
like I said, I'm dealing with this car, and I gotta, I guess, follow them over here. But I'm gonna
Okay,
be
we do
on
what
it
you
once
gotta
we
do.
get off soon. I'm
Okay,
gonna have me
sound
some
good.
people before today over. How about that?
Period. I believe you. I believe it. I believe you. I'm
I've
trying to
been
see if
trying
you
to
bid
get
me
my
on
oldest girl
enrollments.
to
Let's we
join.
gonna see. We gonna see. You might be the play on enrollments this month.
All right, all right. I got a plan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so I'm gonna let you get back to your tow truck, but that's exciting. I got more questions. See me, it's just being intrigued. You gotta just be. I like to learn. As we get older, it's just learning people's stories. It teaches you how to be able to connect with people. So now, just from that story, I know that Miss Angela has a daughter. Um, I mean, I didn't know that before. I know that she's been out of work, but we also know that she has a desire to provide for her family. Um, just so much. So just so many things that you can infer. And then now when I talk to her, I can also use that as ammunition to push her towards whatever it is that she's pushing towards. And I kind of have a glimpse of her why, even just from that, right? And then her hunger, her desire to say, I'm finding somebody. Like, what? That's it. I'm finding somebody. That's amazing. That's awesome. All right. Who else? Who needs to who's ready to walk in their authenticity? And she got to be from the South. Where you from? Because you sound real nice and country. Yeah. Memphis, you
I
said she from
am
Memphis.
from Greenwood,
Okay.
Mississippi.
Oh,
I
Mississippi.
moved to
Yes.
Memphis.
You down. Yes. Okay. Like, I can hear it. I can hear it. So even just listening to her, I'm sure she said she can. Well, maybe do people even know what this accent is? I don't even know. You either know or you don't know. But yeah. Oh, awesome. Cool. Even when listening to Ebony, like I can tell she's from up north for sure.
Can he get? Did you
But
get the garage door opener?
oh,
I mean,
by
closed.
listening to her. So yeah. What does it take for you to be you so you can thrive and love it? Anybody can jump in, by the way.
I'll jump in. I think for me is I don't have a problem being me. Like I like being me, but I think since the business it's almost like the business kind of makes you want to be a better person. And so I think my struggle came from deciding what parts of me that I really need to let go in order for me to go to the next level, and identifying, like, making sure I'm not being fake. Like you said, like, if you want to dance, you want to dance. I love to dance. I love to cook and do different things. And so I think for me, it just was like finding my space in the business while not feeling fake, because I don't want to feel like I'm running Rachel's business or Brittany's business. It's just like finding my own lane, and not feeling fake about it. And so, like, when I first started, I didn't have a passion for like weight loss or helping people or my own goals or even how it affects my family on my weight loss journey. And so it's like, I think I was just like clearing out the old or parts of me that I feel like I just didn't identify with anymore, and also don't identify with this business, and just trying to find my space. And I think that's where I get a little weird about it, because I'm a blue green really. And so it's like I like to see what's working. And that's why I like to see how people run their businesses. I like to see what works, but I just have to figure out how to apply that to me without feeling fake. And that I think that is one of my struggles.
Let's talk about this fakeness. What does it mean to be like, what does that mean? Why do you feel fake?
I don't not maybe that's not the right thing. And it's not fake, but I think I'm always just like trying to put like my best foot forward, and not show the messy, crazy, depressing, anxiety parts of my life sometimes. And I think that's where the fakeness comes. Like, if I'm offline for 2 days, it's not. It's because something that I'm struggling with myself, and then like being vulnerable in those spaces. I think, I
Mm.
don't know. It just makes me feel. I don't know. I
So
just be wanting
this
my
is
life to align with my business.
this is where the mentorship is important, like very important, because there are walls that need to come down in order for not just to build a business, but in order to be okay with being you. So you will go back every single time because the new you doesn't align with the old you. And so you will this is self-sabotage. I see it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. People self-sabotage their newness because it's new, because it's something new, and there is no way to, like, there's no category to put it in. They throw it away instead of creating the new buckets and starting to fill the new buckets. That is becoming, that is allowing yourself to become. And so books like Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, you can read. I mean, you can watch. Some of you can watch A Call to Courage. Um, it's also by Brene Brown. It's on Netflix. You can do Dare to Lead. It's by Brene Brown. That one's by Brene Brown too. She talks a lot about vulnerability, because if you're not willing to get into Daring Greatly is a book that changed my life. That was one of the life-changing books for me. I was trying to see where it is. Might be upstairs. Daring Greatly changed my life. That book changed my life because I realized that I was unwilling to be okay with who Rachel was as I became somebody new. The past cannot, it will hold you hostage if you allow it to. That's facts. It will literally hold you hostage because of your embarrassment, because of whatever lies that the enemy decides to put inside of you, or he decides to tell you for the day. And because of that, and just the willingness to become every day. Where in real life do people have good days every single day? Baby, it's from moment to moment. But it's the willingness to command your moments. And then also share, because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, not to throw up. But once you journal and get through it, just be like, man, this is going to bless somebody. Today was hard. It was hard. But I made it. I made it. I made it out. I made it out all right. Okay, I made it. If you think for 5 seconds that, I mean, and this is the thing when it comes this, I just felt like we just need to deal with this being fake thing, because I think also when we say being fake, it has a lot to do with our pride, because we care about how we look and about what people think about us. Like, bruh, I got in this mom group yesterday. There's this lady. She she posted a picture, and she did it non-anonymous. Okay, this is my mom group here in the area, non-anonymous. Okay, posted a picture of her 5 kids and was like, I'm trying to be funny, but, and she's like, and people who know me in real life probably will think this is a joke. She said, but I need like a nanny 911. Like, can somebody come over and who knows how to discipline their children and maybe give me some pointers on how to discipline my kids? And I was like, yo, that right there, because these kids be out there too, especially in my community. However, but it was like, that's brave. That's brave. Brave, and I'm always looking for opportunities to be brave, and I don't even be trying to be funny. So when people be asking about, because God has graced Brianna and I to have 4 kids right now and be able to do all the things that we do and function at the level, and He has graced you for where you are. The question is, are you accepting His grace and how it looks? Because sometimes we don't like the way that His grace looks because it doesn't look like Susie now. So we have to embrace what grace looks like in our life. But on the flip side, every opportunity I get, Eartha, you want your grandkids? Like, baby, don't play with me. Like, who wants to hang out of the people that I'm comfortable with? I'm okay with that. And so, are you allowing yourself to create these new buckets? And understand that as you are getting rid of the old buckets, sometimes it's the crabs in the barrel. Baby, they don't want you to go. We talking about we've been down for too long. I like when you're depressed. You think the enemy is gonna let you go easily? No, baby, no, absolutely not. He wants you bound. And so when we walk, and this is probably why I show up the way that I do in the midst of, and I have to correct myself several times. And I'm just gonna speak this from my, I feel this in my gut. I know we wrestle not against flesh and blood, which is why I don't cuss people out no more. I'm just playing. I mean, I'm playing, but I'm not. But I know I'm not wrestling. I'm not wrestling against you. And so when these spirits begin to infiltrate, what's snapping on you gonna do? Sometimes people don't even know they bound. Not even sometimes, most of the time, people don't know they bound. Did Saul know that he was bound before he became Paul? He didn't know. The scales had to fall from his eyes. So if the scales are not on my eyes, how dare I be mad at somebody who has scales? But if I'm trusting God, I just have to do what I have to do for Him while serving you. And so here's the thing, in the midst of the bad days, it's okay. But I would read Darren greatly ASAP. Go ahead, Brittany.
I do want to say something, Robin, because this is a process that I had to go through too. Accepting, the who I was becoming, accepting the person like that I grew into being, who I'm continuing to, like, it's a continuous process. But one of the things is your circle. And so that might be why you feel like you're being fake, because you're not around people who are loving on the new you and like making you feel like, or like just really calling on that new person and like loving and shouting out that new person and like welcoming and inviting you to be who you are becoming in that space. Like Rachel was saying, like, we've been down for too long. Like, how you gonna switch up? You know what I'm saying? And so that is probably another reason why you're feeling fake, because you're still around people who want to keep you where you're at, because it's a threat to them when they see you growing, because it's like, how dare you grow and I stay the same. And so it's a project, like them projecting on you. So that could be, one of the reasons is not getting around the people who are loving who you're becoming and congratulating and celebrating who you're becoming. Because I know that was a part for me. And so, and then on the other side, just as how you're saying, like, it's just hard sometimes to show up in this space, because you want to make sure that who you are is in alignment with the business. Like, are you worried about being judged, like, for being you? So you're so worried about that you're not willing to show up in the full capacity and your full authentic self. If that's the case, girl, we not judging you. Nobody here is judging you. If anything, we just want you to be better. And so we want you to show up as yourself. And like I said before, God is going to be the refiner. He's the one that's going to smooth out the rough edges. As you just continue to get in this space, as you continue to buy in and be a part of what we're doing here on every level, you will just, there's no way, if you're doing SDPD, you can't become a better person. Like, there's no way that you're not going to change. There's no way that you're not going to get rid of old habits. Like, there's just no way, if you continue to just desire to be better every single day. I tell Rachel all the time, look, I just want to be better every day. That's it. I just try to be a better me every single day. And so as you continue to do that, you'll be okay with it, and it'll get better. But I bet you 9 times out of 10 it's that circle. Why you feeling fake?
Or the absence of a circle. And, I just heard you two songs that got me through, baby. It was Never Alone by Songs and People, and Tori Kelly's song, Never Alone. And those are songs that for a long time I just had on repeat, because the enemy will make you believe that you're alone. And there is a season where you may be, that there's that transition season, as you're finding these new friends, right? You're finding these new people who connect with the person that you are becoming. And it's almost like you're afraid to be judged in the new circle as much as the old circle is already judging you. So the old circle, they no holds bar, okay, they're already judging. But it's like I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and um I get to dictate what our interactions look like. I believe that for myself, because I care about Rachel, right? So I dictate the conversations that I'm in and the climate of the conversations. And if I don't like the conversation, I'm going to give you the opportunity to change how you're talking to me. And then I'm going to politely remove myself from the situation, right? So I am going to attempt to advocate the situation, but if not, I'm not dealing with that. But you have to allow yourself to be okay with uncomfortableness. Uncomfortableness. Being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with that. Being okay with putting yourself out there, because ultimately that's what you're doing as you're going into the new circles. You're putting yourself out there. And what I've learned by being put into these new spaces is the people in the spaces that I'm growing into are so much more kind and receiving than where I came from. They don't, I'm not saying that they're all perfect, but they don't have the little slick comments. They don't have, like, they're not coming for me. Like, they don't have underlying ulterior motives. Like, they're not like that. They are literally kind and they want to see me win because that's where they are in life, where they want people who are kind and want to see them win. And so, um, you gotta fight. I'm just gonna say that you have to fight. And I'm gonna be honest. And we've talked about this for years. Most people are not okay with becoming because it's uncomfortable. And so they start becoming and they literally take their butt back to where they came from because becoming is so uncomfortable to them. Who else? Thanks for sharing that with me. But I'll tell you, if you don't, you have to wrestle till you win because believe it or not, it's not going away. You'll be dealing with the same thing this time next year unless you wrestle till you win or you'll quit. And a lot of people, and it's crazy because I'm telling the leaders, I had a conversation with somebody who no longer does the business, and I was like, it's almost like you forgot everything that you knew when you was in the business. Like that's sad, and now you're reverting back. Like you've completely reverted back. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't want that for you. What you say, Robin?
I said I'm not quitting. I'm not gonna quit. So I know y'all, I'll be a little out the way sometime, but I'm not gonna quit.
Yeah, I love it. I gotta have that in the spirit. Who else got some? How do you put yourself in a mindset to come into a new month and push forward? Make this month better than it was on last month. We ended the month strong. People woke up the last 2 days during the boom, and some people, well, some newbies. I even had some newbies sign some customers. I was like, oh, okay. Um, how do you wake up and get excited about everything that's to come? Because I'm gonna tell y'all, and because I know that was a heavy topic. Let me say that because I don't want to end this on a heavy note. That's a heavy topic because change is hard. I'm gonna say change is hard. But when you wake up with the mentality of every day I'm becoming, I am like I have a quote. It says, "When you meet me today, you have to give me the opportunity to be different because I'm growing. So the same person that you met yesterday, I'm not her no more. I I am not the her you met yesterday because I'm growing and I'm becoming. And if you don't have grace for growth, we can't talk. we can't talk because literally every day I grow. I mean, it's my job to grow and become better. So the way that my mind thinks, the way that I'm learning, like you have to give me the grace to grow. And so I give other people the grace to grow too and be who they are. Because I also know that everybody is not on the growth that I want for my life. Because we know it's not about the money, it's about the person that you become as you get to the money. It's the person you have to become in order to have the money. You know, it's so funny, y'all. We're watching Tennessee and who Tennessee play Purdue? Tennessee and Purdue play. I think that's right. And Breon, my husband, was like, "Oh, you know that's the coach. The Tennessee coach was sitting at Mark's table when he went to the Dick Vitale Foundation thing. Like he met all these coaches, and I'm sitting here like, that's nuts, right? Like that's crazy when you think about it. However, who is the person that he has had to become over all these years to be able to even be in a room like that and be in a room like that? There's been years of becoming, and now it's just the exposure. But then where does it come to actually being in the room? Not just being invited, but actually being invited by somebody who was invited, but actually being invited. Like where does that becoming come into play? And are you okay with what it takes to become? Yeah, that coach is normal now, but what was the process leading up to that? What did he have to let go of in order to be able to be in rooms like that? Who does he no longer associate with in order to be sustained coaching that many years at that level? There's so many different things. And so are you allowing yourself to go through the process so that you can be who you really want to be? Because that's what it all boils down to. Like, you really want to be her. Okay? Because I want to be her. I want to get up every morning and go for a 30-minute jog at 6 a.m. and, go to my shower outside because I live in Florida. That's me. I didn't ask what you was doing. I'm talking about what I want to do. Okay. Because see, listen, it's okay. And that's another thing. Like, so I don't care that you don't like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be okay with that. That's my vision of what I desire. And people are gonna look at you like that. They're gonna be like, girl, like that's nuts. Let me be nutty by myself with my family. Because it's really just them accepting it one day, Brianna. So we can actually execute. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be okay with and not be offended because people don't love what you love. That doesn't mean anything. That just means that they have a different taste palette than you do. But aren't they supposed to? You're supposed to have a different taste palette. They're supposed to. It's iron sharpens iron. It doesn't say that it has to be the exact shape and size and all of that. You just need to be iron and love what you love. You tell somebody all the time, like, bruh, I could never live in Texas. Like, the humidity is just not for me. I don't even know that. I've never even lived in Texas. I've just been down there a few times. But I hope Robin wouldn't be offended by me saying it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope not. Or Cassandra, like, I would hope not. Like, I don't be offended that I don't know nothing about no Florida. I mean, Texas. Just love me anyway and laugh at me. Okay? So I want you guys to get excited because there is a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of stuff here, and I'm getting more and more excited about Burn, especially as I'm taking it. So if you have not gotten Burn, um, man, if you can take it. So of course, if you are nursing a baby under 6 months old, 6 to 8 a year, you really should wait a year to get into Burn, or at least 10 months, or whenever your baby stops nursing. If your baby is above, I only explain this to the leader, so I'll explain it here too. If you're so I do nurse Zoe and I do take Burn, but my daughter is 2 years old. Um, and she nurses about twice a day, and she does not. So the concern is bilirubin, that a newborn needs with bilirubin, not an older child. Um, so And that's a whole nother conversation. So if you are nursing and you have questions, we can kind of talk about it. But I would wait till at least your baby is one, if not on solids most of the day. So, anyways, but if you're ever started burn, if you are on Ozempic or blood thinners, they should not be taking burn because of the counteracting, because of what berberine does. So it is something that helps with balancing things in the body. So if they are on things to help balance things in their body, they would need to substitute opposed to adding it on, if that makes sense. So look at the ingredients and see what they do, because a lot of people are on a lot of medications to regulate the things in their body, and we want to heal it. So if they're brave enough to try, I mean, of course, we don't want anybody to get off blood pressure medication. That has to be done by a doctor, period. However, they can take burn while being on blood pressure medication. Like, that's not one that all of our products can be taken on blood pressure medication. The only concern would be Thermofite X, of course, because of the way it speeds up their metabolism. So always ask questions. And I'm gonna tell you, I ask questions and Skinny Brew. Um, always ask questions. I would say they can't, not that they can't be on it, but they need to definitely watch it for sure. Um, Actually, maybe they shouldn't be on it. Maybe they should. Maybe they should, but maybe they should be doing a lot of things that they be doing while they on their blood pressure medication too. So that's a whole nother story. That's a whole other story too. But you're right. You're right. You're right. So asking questions, and that's how I learn. I ask a whole bunch of questions. I will ask Carla a million questions, and we do have a product coach, y'all. It's just an email now. Did y'all know that? We still have product coach. It's just an email address. I believe it's productcoach@itworks.com. I will. I'll look it up. So we do. So feel free to email product coach. Yep, product coach@itworks.com. So if you have any questions about any products, you can just email product coach@itworks.com. Any questions? I'm so excited. Conference at the end of this month. And it's a new product coming. And I know what it is. Y'all, the new product started today. I'm so excited, guys. No questions, concerns, all minds clear. If you did keep your conference ticket, you will get the new product. So if you kept your conference ticket from before, you're gonna get the new product for free. Otherwise, you will be able to purchase it. I'm assuming it's gonna drop at conference. And I'm gonna try my hardest to get y'all some really, really good before and after pictures. Um, Everybody gonna want this, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Everybody gonna want it. At least every woman that you know. Every woman that you know gonna want this product if she care about her body. Okay? I love my body. Babe, you love my body? All right, let's pray. Let's get off of here. Robin, thank you for sharing your heart today. I'm believing that this will help somebody, not just on here, but also people who watch the recording later, because that is, and I do suggest, like, start with Daring Greatly. Start with that book, commit to finishing it, and then you may need to go back through the Becoming series and be okay with becoming. And so if anybody on here struggles with vulnerability, the Becoming series. Oh, I got another call. Let me pray. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father God, we just love you today. I thank you for this squad. I thank you for the ability to be here and serve them. I thank you for how you are making all things new, and you are helping us transform into the person that we are and feel good about who you've called and made us to be. And so, God, I just even just pray today that you just cover hearts and minds, that you protect us with the arc of protection as we go forward. God, help us to bind together in love so that we can be the support that we need as we are becoming and being who you called us to be. God, help us to not go back to the old things, to the former things that you've delivered us from. God, we know that when we go back, it's 7 times worse. And so, God, help us to remain delivered as we press towards the mark. Forgive us for even desiring to go back because it's familiar, God. Help us to press towards the mark as we become, and we get to help so many people along the way. God, give us a vigor in our belly to open up our mouths and talk to people about these products and about the business and about this circle and what we get to do here. So God, we thank you in advance for this amazing April that we have coming and how you are just going to do so many new things in our lives. We thank you and we honor you in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Bye, friends. Have a good day, guys.